Well, we all are in agreement. Tyrese would be nice. I don't think we need a Tyrese Halliburton on this team. But what do we need? Are we missing any pieces to the puzzle as we approach the start of the 24-25 NBA season?
Yeah.
I still think this team needs some kind of an additional forward. I don't want to say power forward because it's just that's all, it's positionless like they like to say, but I think a 3-and-D kind of forward still. Like I love Royce, but I think you need a slightly bigger guy. Maybe could Ryan Dunn turn into that? Maybe. But I feel like that's probably the biggest glaring hole to me right now.
Yeah, it's a plus size defensive minded wing, and you're hoping that Ryan Dunn can hit enough threes or do enough offensively with his cutting, other elements of his game to justify being on the court, to where you can have a lockdown defensive wing out there. Because otherwise, if Ryan Dunn can't hit enough threes to be that guy, you're looking at Jalen Bridges, who's on a two-way contract. There is an open roster spot if they want to bring up one of the two-way guys. And we saw in Summer League, Jalen Bridges had no problem catching the ball, shooting it, and making threes. That's all they would need from him offensively. But as a rookie, it's a tough ask to have a two-way guy come in and be a defensive stopper. And outside of that, it's Bol. Like you're still putting too much on Kevin Durant if Ryan Dunn can't be that guy. Because as much as Royce O'Neal is a good defender, he's getting a little bit older. He usually plays the 4 now instead of the 3. Like you need more wings in this league. You need more 3-and-D two-way wings. And the Suns, there are some question marks with some of those guys.
Yeah, and I mean, I just wish you could put like Ryan Dunn and Jalen Bridges into the same person, and you'd have such a solid option there. Even as a rookie, it'd still be a really solid option there.
Yeah.
But your hope is that one of those two guys, or both of them, exceed all expectations this year or in years to come. But it is concerning with the amount of load you're going to put on KD. I mean, we've talked about this. Like, he had an extraordinary healthy last season. There's no guarantee that you'll get that. Knock on wood, touch metal, whatever your thing is.
Yeah.
But you would hope that you would be able to take more off of his shoulders than what we had put on them last year.
Yeah.
Because he is also a year older as well. So I think the chat is all in agreement here, a 3-and-D wing. But also being brought up, no surprise here, a rim running big or a shooting big.
So rim running bigs, we have 2 of those. Like, I feel like Mason Plumlee, as long as he is healthier than he was last year, he can be that. He's not as bouncy as he used to be, but he's a good screen setting, rim running, finishing big around the rim. Oso Ighodaro is absolutely that if he gets an opportunity. Again, he's a rookie, so we don't know that he's going to be able to work himself into the rotation on a team that wants to contend for a title. But he does have that skill set. For me, the floor spacing big is the one that stands out a little bit more. You would like to have somebody that in Bud's system especially can fill that Al Horford, Brook Lopez archetype. I would like to believe that the Jusuf Nurkic offseason videos shooting in a gym are going to translate.
Baby.
Yeah, hopefully, but I don't know if that's realistic or not. And Mason Plumlee, we know he can't shoot. Oso Ighodaro, he's got the push shot from the mid-range, and that's about as far as his range goes. So you're not going to get a lot of floor spacing from your 5s. That is another need for me.
Is it a big need, though, with how much floor spacing you have? Or is that kind of a lesser need in your mind? Because a lot of people obviously still don't like Nurk. Is a lot of the hang-up when they say center. I'm not in that, but is that a lesser concern for you?
I think it's still a concern. Not with the starters. With the starters, you have enough spacing between Tyus Jones and the big 3 around Nurk to not have to worry about it. With the bench, you still have spacing. You have Monte Morris, who's a good shooter. Grayson Allen, we know what he did last year. Royce O'Neal. Those are 3 guys. After that, it gets a little dicey. I think if Bol can carry forward his shooting from last year to this year, that makes a huge difference in terms of the spacing with that second unit. They will be staggering, so it's not like we're going to have a platoon where it's all bench guys. You'll probably have
at least one of the big 3 with
Yeah.
whoever's rolling out off the bench.
So you should be able to have enough shooters, but if you're giving minutes to Ryan Dunn, Oso Ighodaro, Josh Okogie, guys like that, suddenly the spacing gets a little bit tighter, especially if your fives can't really shoot.
We all silly like the mayor.